Hey, blessed day, everybody. Welcome to What the Boot. And the purpose of this video is to provide insight in what you can expect in regards to the gas chamber at Marine Corps Boot Camp. All right, now I'm going to go over a little bit about my own experiences of it. There's going to be some uh, relevant or up to date information in this and some technical information. But it's kind of just go over a little bit of my experiences going to the gas chamber in boot camp. All right. Now, this is going to happen roughly about the third week in training. Now, for me, I remember not too much in detail about what led up to it. I do remember being marched out, or rather being hiked out. I don't really remember precisely how we end up at the gas chamber, but I just remember getting there. And a lot of times when you're dealing with the drill instructors, there's a lot of hype that leads up to it. So your drill instructors are trying to literally psych you out because it is quite entertaining watching people really react to this to the gas. All right. Now the gas in question is called CS gas, commonly known as tear gas. Now, you see the name underneath here is one way of spelling the name, and then the second spelling is another way in which it is spelled out. So it's two. I do not know all the chemical or technical names in regards to this chemical, but I am just a little bit familiar in regards to the core. Just had to do some research. My Marine buddy was nice enough to help educate me a little bit in regards to it, and he rattled off the name like it was going out, like it was the most simple thing to say. I tried many times, didn't do so well. So rather than trying to pronounce its name, I decided just to give you the spelling of it. Now, this CS gas, or tear gas, is commonly known as, is an irritant. All right. Now, it will affect your eyes. So you will have difficulty keeping your eyes open. So if you've ever watched videos of like someone getting maced, or you see those crowds and you see a riot and they start throwing out these cans and this gas starts getting everywhere and everyone starts suddenly grabbing their eyes and they're like, I can't see. Well, it's an irritant meant to anywhere there's like moisture points, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, down your throat, making things difficult to breathe. Now, in regards to making things difficult to breathe, yeah, it will make some things difficult to breathe. And your first reaction to be coughing, you're just like, oh, it's really starting to get hard to breathe. Well, of course. Now you got an irritant, which is deliberately trying to make things difficult for you, mixed in with everything else you're trying to breathe in. Some of the side effects that you'll end up with, other than this, your eyes being clamped shut and you have some difficulty breathing, will be like runny nose. All right, like you'll have like a really runny nose. Some people just start drilling from their mouth, and then you will have people who will quite literally vomit. Because it's literally having that kind of effect. When you're feeling these, in my experience, has been just be calm. Be calm. Yeah, it sucks. It's not easy to breathe. Don't taste good. Don't smell good. But stay calm. Stay present. It's very important you do this. You don't want to be that recruit or even Marine when later on you're doing gas chamber who's trying to escape, all right, or panics. All right, you don't want to be that one because you will not live that down ever. All right. Now, leading up to going to the gas chamber. Now, personally, I think I actually do believe we hiked out to that location, or we were out. No, I think we hiked, if I remember correctly. If not, or if any of my Marine buddies remembers correctly, you can either comment down below or you can call me directly and make a correction. Once you get out there, if your drill instructors haven't already been giving you tips and trying to give you instructions, there will be a class that goes over what is going to be expected of you in the gas chamber, what your equipment is, its nomenclature, how to use it, how is it supposed to be stored, how is it to be kept and cleaned and taken care of. They go literally over everything. Now, you will be a little bit stressed out. One, you got your drill instructors literally lording nearby and just waiting for you to make mistakes. But when you're in that class, they generally are going to leave you alone. to a degree, anyways, depending on what platoon or company you're in. Um, Now, they want to go in there, then they go about doing demos about how you're going to don your mask. How does it get stowed in a little pouch that's going to be off on your left side and have a flap, you open it, you reach in. Now, mind you, you already have your mask situated in a way that you can already put it in, and you put your mask on. Now, they're probably going to have you put your mask on, test fit it. You're going to help your fellow recruits have it test fitted, not too tight, but it needs to be snug, in which so that you got a good seal. And then they'll also teach you how to check if you got a good seal. Then obviously, and how to take the mask off and then to stow it so that if necessary, you can don or put your mask on, often referred to as donning your mask, in a emergency and as quickly as possible. All right. And then once you get your mask on, you always got to remember you got to close the flap. And then you got to do this stupid thing where you come up, you get your mask up, and you go gas, gas, gas. And that's going to be the signal for everybody else or anyone at a distance if they see that, knows that there's been a gas attack or that there's gas out. But that, hey, put your mask on, ask questions afterwards, all right? Now, once that's all done, they're going to line you up. Drill instructors are going to come in there, obviously, and get you all lined up and psych you out. And obviously they're going to have their favorites trying to, hey, you're going to be the one who's going to scream, shout, you're going to come in, you're going to quit, you're going to die in there. So keep that in mind when you're in there. You don't want to get psyched out. It's just tear gassed, okay? After a little while in the Corps, and you've been in the gas chamber several times, it will start to become like something you look forward to. But while in boot camp, not something to look forward to. And being your first time, it's just, for most of us, is going to suck. Some people, didn't suck, but for you, probably will. And once they go in, usually by squad or so, and they line them up and they march them in. All right, so generally the first group that gets to go in is going to have the least intense. So that's going to be in the initial blast of gas. All right, this little capsule, and then they put it on the pan and they basically burn it in that room. And then after that, there will be drill instructors at the door. And there's a funny little thing where what happens is that I was telling you that you don't want to be that one. Drill instructors will be waiting at the door, and they're waiting to get you. All right, it's either to step at the door, and they're just going to let you try to crash into the door and smack it, and the door just won't open. Other times, you got drill instructors they'll let you get out the door, but they're looking for that excuse where they can spear you. So don't be the one that gives that drill instructor that story for the rest of his life where he got to say, hey, I got to spear a recruit and I got away with it. Whether or not that's still relevant, it depends on how uptight the commander wants to be, but there are those who are looking for you to those who freak out. All right. And then once you do all the instructions that happen while inside the gas chamber, they just roll you out, you start coming out, and you start patting yourself down, getting as much of the stuff off, and then you're going to end up taking the mask off. All right. I don't remember too much detail beyond that. I remember more about further gas chambers after that. I was more worried about being not one and be the one who freaked out. So that's where most of my mind was set on. Now, when you're in the gas chamber, the real purpose behind it is, one, to expose you to it. So it is so that you will know what it's like to have it employed against you, and that when if you run into a situation where it is used against you, you won't freak out. You're already kind of familiar with what's going on. Or if you go having another type of chemical attack, you already had practice with something a little bit lighter, so you already know how to go through the motions to don it all on. All right. Now, in regards to that, it's also teaching you how to get the mask on. But when you're inside the gas chamber, they are going to have, well, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're going to have your mask on once you go in. And once you go in, they're going to wait till everybody's in there, close the door, secure the door, and then they're going to give you instructions inside there. All right. Now, a lot of times they're going to have you do exercises, jumping jacks, sometimes push-ups, squats, various things, jumping up and down. And the purpose behind it is to make sure that your mask is secured to your face properly. If you have it too loose, it'll start flopping all over the place, and then next thing you know, you don't have a mask anymore. All right. So it's also giving you an opportunity to understand that mask, you might very well have to end up fighting with this mask on. So it's better to have it where, you get used to make sure it's secured to your face. Now, then it comes to the fun part where everybody loves this part, is which they will tell you to break the seal of the mask. Now, a lot of times you're going to try to time it right. And when you do it, you don't want to take forever to do it. Because once you break the seal, a lot of guys that hold their breath, the sooner you break the seal, because they're going to have guys walk around and they're going to have to see, because you have the mask on. You take the seal and you're going to push it through until your fingers are pushed up against the glass or the visor. And once they see everybody's like that, all right, they're going to say, gas, gas, gas. Now, once that happens, pull your fingers out, put your hand over the front of the mask, put a seal in there, and then you're going to blow out. That pushes all contaminants out. So it's getting you used to also that when you put your mask on, there's contaminants. And so when you put it on, get it all out. Now you go back to breathing like normal. And so you know how to deal with that. So now if you run into that situation, you're familiar with it. Biggest issues when it comes to the gas chamber is those who want to be special or think they don't have to do something, or those who are trying to be slick about it. Don't be that one. All right. Just follow the instructions, break the seal, get a good breath, break that seal, and just, look out for your fellow recruits, and so that you guys can get in and out as fast as possible. All right. Once you go out, kind of simple day, but do keep in mind though, the gas chamber isn't going to be the only thing you do that day. There are going to be activities for the rest of that day. So don't think that just because you have all this stuff on you that suddenly you get to go and wash or whatnot. Probably not. You got a schedule, you got training to do, you're going to continue on. And in the combat area, you may very well be that's all it's going to deal with. So, yeah. I remember for myself, it wasn't the funnest time, but it wasn't the worst. We did have some people, I think at least one guy vomited, and we did have at least, I think, one or two freakouts. But, we got in, we got out, and we went on with the schedule of the day. But either way, if anyone has any questions or thought this video is of use to you or to someone else, leave a like down below and have a blessed day.